Hello everyone, I'm K. Sadashiva. Welcome to my channel KLR Educators. This is a course on modern Indian history which we are running on every Thursdays. On every Sundays we are running a course on world modern history. So guys, those who are following my videos, I request you to watch these videos completely and later you make a running notes which is important in your preparation and which will be helpful for your future reference. Yes, due to some technical issue, yesterday we were not able to upload this video. So in our previous lecture, we have discussed everything about the British rule in India. So how they ruled in India, what were the different phases and how they behaved in these three different phases. So today we are going to discuss about the education that was introduced by the British in India. Types of modern education. If you take the modern education, it was of two types. So one we had Anglo-Saxon education in which it was introduced by Lord Macaulay. It recommended English medium, and another one was Orientalist in which it was introduced by James Princer and it recommended vernacular education. So we had two types of education, that is Anglo education and Orientalist education. So if we take Anglo education, it was introduced by Lord Macaulay and it recommended English medium. So if we take Orientalist education, it was introduced by James Princer and here they followed vernacular method. Means in Orientalist they will be following vernacular method of teaching, and in Anglicized education they will be using English method of teaching. Means here English will be the medium and here the vernacular means the local language will be the medium. Downward filtration theory. So what was this downward filtration theory? British believed that by teaching the people of elite class, rich and scholars, they will in turn teach others. So it will be very difficult to teach entire people of India. So what they did, they framed a policy. Means first they will teach the elite class people, rich class and scholars, so that they will in turn teach everyone in country. But this theory failed. Why? Because the British here wanted to teach them in English, but the Orientalists believed that traditional education should not be barred. So as there were rift that was going on between the Orientalists and also the Anglicists, this rift led to failure of this theory. Here the Britishers wanted to teach them English medium, but the Orientalists opposed it. Why? Because they believed that traditional education is most important than the English education, because the need of the hour was to teach the people of India by using the Orientalist education, but not by the English medium. Macaulay's Minute. So what was this Macaulay's Minute? Main intention was to educate the Indians in English medium and then use them as a resource for their own benefits. See, whatever the policies that were introduced by the British and whatever the methods that were followed by the British, everything was to exploit Indians. Here we can see these Britishers are educating Indians. Why they are educating Indians? Because they wanted to use Indians as a source and they wanted to earn more and more income. So it will be difficult to get source from England. So it will be easy if you educate the local people and if you use them as a source by paying them very less salaries, it will be easy for them to exploit more and more. So that's the main intention why the Britishers were educating the Indians. Under this provision, English was made official language. So under Macaulay's Minute, English was made official language. It suggested Lord William Bentinck to follow Anglicized form of education. So this Macaulay's Minute suggested Lord William Bentinck, who was Governor General at that time, to follow this Anglicized form of education. Because the English wanted to teach Indians in English medium so that it will be easy for them to handle Indians, because if you teach them in English, it will be easy for British to appoint these people as a source and they can use these people and exploit more and more. Macaulay's system of education. The system of education was introduced by Lord Macaulay in 1835. The system put Anglicist Orientalist debate to an end. So there was rift which was going on between Anglicists and Orientalists. By introduction of this Macaulay Minute, the rift was broken down and it came to an end. Now the English were following English medium in schools. Means they will be teaching Indians in English medium only. This system is also known as Lord Macaulay's Minute. Magna Carta of modern education. What is this Magna Carta? Charles Wood, who was the president of Board of Control, sends a dispatch known as Wood's Dispatch. So what was the provision under this Wood's Dispatch? He preferred vernacular education in primary and English education in secondary school. So what Charles Wood recommended, he recommended that the people of India should be taught in their vernacular languages up to primary school, and later in different stage, later in higher in secondary school they can use Anglicism, means they can use English medium, means up to primary school they should be taught in their local language, and later in higher school they can be taught in English medium. Grant in aid, teacher training institutes introduced and schools were opened in Bengal, Bombay and Madras. So funds came from Britain as grants to establish the schools. Teacher training institutes were opened and teachers were trained, and later many schools were opened in Bengal, Bombay and Madras. So to facilitate this modern education, the British government sanctioned loans to establish schools at different places, to establish various training institutes so that the teachers can be trained easily, and later they opened schools in Bengal, Bombay and Madras. Drawback of English education. Whole syllabus was in favor of English. So here you can easily understand that the main motive of the Britishers was to educate Indians in their way. Means they wanted to educate Indians in such a way that the exploitation which will be done by the British should not be questioned by the Indians. So in this way they were teaching the Indian people. So here the whole syllabus will be in favor of English only. Not much knowledge in Indian people who went through this education. If you go through vernacular education, they will be getting a lot of knowledge. But if you follow this English education, there was not much knowledge. They were teaching only that kind of courses which they felt that it will be useful for the Indian people to exploit them easily. Limited teaching. Yes, very much limited. Main purpose was not to uplift Indians, but the using these people as source and consumer base. So this is the main point. This is the main reason why they introduced the education in India. What was the main purpose? The main purpose was not to uplift Indians. It was never done for the welfare of the Indians, but instead it was done because they wanted to use Indians as a source and as a consumer base. This is the main reason why they introduced this education in India. So with this, we are done with our today's session. Hope you understood everything about the modern education system that was introduced by British in India, why they introduced it, what was the main intention behind introducing this modern education in India, and what were the benefits that were availed by the Indian people through this education. So in our next lecture, we will be discussing about the different acts that were passed by the British. And again, I am requesting you to please make a running notes so that it will be useful for your future reference. If you like my video, please give a like and share these videos to your friends who are preparing for many competitive exam, and if you feel that it will be useful for them, please pass these videos to them, and please subscribe my channel if you haven't subscribed yet. So thanks for watching my video. Have a nice day. Jai Hind.